We've seen corrupt politicians before. Nearly every president in my lifetime had some sort of link to possible corruption. Reagan had the scandal of Iran and Contra. Bush was the first architect of the conspiracy of the New World Order and allegedly made billions, if not trillions, on arms deals and oil companies that he owned. Clinton was getting BJs and had multiple sexual allegations, not to mention several questionable deaths of people tied to his business. The other Bush had the Iraq War and false allegations of weapons of mass destruction, as well as profiting from the military-industrial complex. We had Obama, who once didn't wear a tie and caused an uproar with Republicans, and he had the Fast and Furious gun walking scandal, which allegedly allowed firearms to flow into the hands of Mexican drug cartels. This was seen as an abuse of executive power and cost lives. Then we had Donald Trump. I mean, that list is extremely extensive. Some plausible and some not. But this president is in and out of court almost daily, from taking classified material to supposedly inciting violence. And now we got Biden, who is under investigation for handling his son's drug-infested, prostitute-enjoying time overseas business dealings, as well as taking classified material documents from the White House. If we go through the Congress and Senate, this video will be about 5 hours long because multiple of them have allegations and corruptions attached to them, from stock market manipulations to lying to sex scandals as well. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest. But what they all have in common is that they at least try to hide the corruption. But what if I told you I found one that does it in plain sight and simply doesn't care because she's a boss bitch?
Hi, I am Tiffany Henyard, and I am running for mayor of Dolton.
But guess what? You can be a boss bitch too if you smash that subscribe button. Welcome to Dolton, Illinois, where Tiffany Henyard became the village of Dolton's first and youngest woman mayor in the village's 130-year history, and openly doesn't shy away from being corrupt.
Every single resident, pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ.
You see, Tiffany is on 2 public payrolls, one as the mayor of Dolton and the other as elected supervisor of Thornton Township. Mayor pays $46K a year, and her role as supervisor of Thornton Township, she collects more than $200,000 a year. And you would think she would quietly collect her check and do her job, but she's too busy being the face of everything, including setting up a 10-day march of Springfield to promote her breast cancer charity that she created herself, using taxpayers' money for expenses, including hotels, meals, and transportations. Thousands of dollars were spent on those 10 days, as if she was on a vacation going to Europe with her family. It's ridiculous.
In addition, the videos show Henyard used multiple village and township vehicles owned by taxpayers to escort the caravan, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ.
We got our mayor right here coming from Dolton, Illinois, walking all the way to Springfield.
She even used money to open up her own Shopify store to sell merch, but to get the merch, she needed to use approximately $17,000 of taxpayers' money to get everything printed on shirts, hoodies, and hats. Can't make this shit up. Unfortunately for her, the locals are not as excited about her spending as she is. When asked about these allegations, she responded with this.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is Nowhere, sir.
Say again?
I'm the face.
You're the face. What was the purpose of going to Springfield?
Thank you, guys. Hey, she doesn't have any more comments, guys.
We're going to talk.
She doesn't have any more comments. Thanks, guys.
That's Keith Freeman, whom Henyard hired at both Dolton and Thornton Township and was part of her Springfield walk.
Look at Keith, baby!
Freeman also filed paperwork for the charity bearing Henyard's name. Why are you using public money for your personal charity?
$17,000 for insurance. Why?
And with that, her security detail hustled Henyard upstairs and blocked the staircase with a table.
The controversy doesn't end there. Thanks to Nate, the lawyer, for making me aware of the situation, I was able to get even more information on the toxic stint as a mayor. One of the most significant controversies surrounding her tenure as mayor was a decision to hire a registered child offender as a code enforcement officer. This hiring took place without the approval of the village board, leading to significant outrage amongst the town's residents. See, now I'm kind of starting to understand why there's so many passport bros, because it's hard to try to date women like this.
What?
Oh, but it doesn't stop there. No, my friends. It gets much worse. She's a woman scorned and will do whatever it takes to hit you where it hurts because you don't agree with her. She was accused of withholding licenses from individuals and businesses who did not support her political campaign for mayor. This behavior was seen as a form of political favoritism, which undermined the principles of fairness and impartiality in governance. Take a look.
Mayor went on to have more controversies. The mayor allegedly withheld liquor licenses because some people didn't want to give to her campaign to be mayor.
Another incident involved the mayor locking the town's chief tax collector, Cassandra Stone, out of her own office. Stone had raised concerns about the mayor's spending practices, and this lockout was seen as an act of retaliation against her for her criticism. Mayor Henyard also exerted control over the usage of public spaces, particularly her event space. She allegedly forced event organizers like a car show organizer to use her space and threatened them with consequences if they did not comply, despite lacking the legal authority to do so.
A South Suburban car show is canceled after the entrance is barricaded with giant concrete blocks.
Always a good time for everybody that comes out, fun, exciting. Good for the community.
For the past 8 years, Darren Bosley has organized an annual car show here in the parking lot of Needles Park in Dolton. But after paying $1,000 to the Park District for this year's permit, Bosley got an unexpected call last Wednesday from Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top assistant,
saying that the show would be shut down, but if I move my event to her location on Greenwood, that I would be fine.
Did you take that as a threat?
Yes. I took that as bullying.
Jesus Christ, just reporting this gives me a headache because this woman literally doesn't even try to hide the corruption. Honestly, I'm just waiting for her to pull the black card and say, hey, this town is just being racist and they're upset that she's a black young woman in power and they can't handle it. I'm telling you, watch it. It's gonna come. In response to these various controversies, there's an attempt to recall Mayor Henyard from office. However, the recall vote was deemed unconstitutional, allowing her to remain in office.
Just over a year after getting sworn in as Dolton's mayor, voters recalled Tiffany Henyard Tuesday.
We listened to the community. The community has asked us, what can we do? They were uncomfortable with lack of transparency. They were uncomfortable with the spending.
Village trustee Jason House believes the referendum to recall the mayor was necessary and fair.
We are a democracy. The people have spoken, and we really are going to do everything we can to make sure that their voice is heard.
But the mayor took her fight to court and won in the lower court.
That's politics for you. This self-proclaimed super mayor apparently also needed to maintain a full-time security detail, with some officers earning substantial overtime pay.
Henyard, who doubles as the supervisor for Thornton Township, began using Dolton cops to drive her around shortly after she was elected mayor in 2021. Dolton trustees filed a lawsuit saying she never justified the need for security and does not have the legal authority to order spending on her own. So, how much does all this cost? Well, we filed a Freedom of Information request and found that officers assigned to her detail are routinely working hundreds of hours of overtime and even accompanying the mayor when she travels out of state. One officer put in for more than 300 hours worked in a 2-week payroll period, making more than $13,000 in a single paycheck. That's more than 200 hours of OT in just 2 weeks.
God, I'm in the wrong business. But guess what? Let's put the icing on the cake. Dolton fell into a $5 million deficit recently. And all of a sudden, Dolton members got hit with a bunch of fines that they say they are not guilty of. So, you gotta make the money somehow to brand yourself. This mayor is bold to be so corrupt in front of all of the Dolton residents like this. It's like robbing your neighbor of all of their clothes and then wearing them as you come to their house for a barbecue or whatever and saying, hey, how do I look in this outfit? Do you like it? And if you respond with, yo, those are my clothes, and she would likely respond with, so what you gonna do? Nothing, so fuck off.